Hi, welcome to the Crafts channel. My name's Corinne Brad and I want to show you a very quick way to create an ombre effect on your glassware with some porcelain paint and the humble washing up sponge. It's very easy. I'm just going to show you how. Now this is a washing up sponge that I have cut into pieces with a pair of scissors, so it creates nice little spongy blocks for me to use. And this is a glass jar that I've cleaned up. I'm going to pour some white porcelain paint into an old cat food tin. And I'm using porcelain paint as opposed to glass paint because what you want is a certain amount of opaqueness on here. Now you can use these jars for storage or for makeup brushes, and if you stipple it quite lightly with your washing up sponge, you get what looks like an opaque effect, but there is actually still a certain amount of light that could get through there. So you could use them for nightlight holders, depending on how much paint and what colour paint you've used. So I'm going to stipple half of this jar in white, get right into those creases around the screw band. And then I don't want a solid edge around here, so I'm just going to lightly up and down it. Now, when you put your hand in the jar, you will probably find that the jar starts misting up on the inside, but it's fine. As long as your jar is clean and grease-free and you've got all the sticky labels off it, you can apply this. And it doesn't exactly look like a spray painted jar. It's almost like not even a pebble dash, but it's just a very slight textured effect, but it gives you a good even colour without streaks and actually much quicker than if you were to apply it with a brush. The more paint that you have on the sponge, the bigger the stipples will be. So if you find that you've got and it looks like really big lumps, just keep going over it, let it dry for a couple of minutes and go over it again, and eventually those stipples will come down to a nice even texture. Put that to one side. I'm going to get some blue, because I quite like the blue and white ombre effect. Let's just clear that up before I put the lid back on. Otherwise it will dry and I'll never get the lid back off again. And then we run the blue around the bottom of the jar. And you want it quite nice and solid around the bottom of the jar, because that will be the darkest part of your ombre. And really you might think, well, why don't you let the white paint dry before you put the blue on, so that you can hold the jar more easily at the top. The reason is because I want to keep that paint wet. Just like if you were doing some sort of ombre design on your walls, you want to make sure that the two paints can blend in. So we've got this line, and now all I'm going to do is just lightly stipple up and down from the blue into the white. Just really carefully. And I'm trying to avoid getting a hard edge. What you will find with if you cut your sponges into rectangles, you do have a tendency to have lines appearing. But if you work quick enough, what you can do, if you go all the way round and you see where you've got your lines that have appeared, you can then turn it diagonally and just blend them out. Like this. Up the jar like that. And then return to your white and blend back down again to get that ombre effect because with your paints being still wet, you will find that they'll blend into each other. So you'll get that dark blue and the mid-tones of blue and the white. And while you're doing this pouncing motion, try and make sure that you're continually working up and down the jar so that you don't get a rigid straight line. I think that should just about do it. What I will add to that is a tiny bit of black just around the bottom. This could look really good, or this could be a huge mistake. Let's find out. I don't want a lot of black, but I just want to make sure that that dark blue is a really dark blue. So again, pounce the black around the bottom, and before it's dry, blend it in with your dark blue sponge. And you can get this ombre effect, you can use 2, 3, 4 colours, but you need to work quickly. So be decisive about your colour scheme to start with. Lay your colours out in the line that you think you want to do them in, because you need to make sure you can do this and you can get these colours to blend in together with the sponge while they're still wet. So there you go. That's an ombre makeup jar to match my little ombre parrot bottle. And so you've got the greens and whites, and you've got the desert colours here. Very easy. As I say, just use some porcelain paints and a washing up sponge. Hope you like this idea. And before I go, just to let you know, most of these porcelain paints, they will come off with water. If you do something and you think, oh, actually, I really don't like that, you can soak them in water and it will peel off. If you love it and you want to keep it, most of them you have to bake in the oven for at least half an hour. It will specify the temperature on the bottle. One word of advice: don't preheat your oven and then put your glassware in it, because it may crack. Put your glassware in the oven first of all and then turn the oven on, let it preheat and let the paint cure for the time that it's supposed to do. And then it will be, I don't know if it's dishwasher proof, it's certainly washing up bowl proof if you just want to give it a quick rinse every now and again. So there you go. I have finished now. I hope you join us next time. See you soon. If you've been inspired to create, please share your makes with us in the comments section below. And if you've enjoyed videos by the Crafts channel, hit the like button. Want to see more of us? Then click subscribe. See you next time.